Joins us every Friday at 4. Ron Jaworski. You can see him on the NBC Sports Philly pre- and post-game show for the Eagles. Jaws, wish we were talking to you under different circumstances.
No doubt about it. 0 for 3 last night. Not a good batting average, but boy, what a disappointment by the Eagles. In 2 straight weeks now coming with clunkers, and especially the way they were physically dominated by the New York Giants. I never expected that. It was a wake-up call for everyone.
Yeah. Do you think it will be? I guess that's my question. Is now they haven't been physically dominated like they were last night all year, but they have been pretty sloppy, penalties in bad spots. The players keep talking about execution, and you wonder this far into the season, how do you get that all together?
Well, I still think the players are there. There's quality players. I think the coaches are still there. It's just a matter of putting it all together. And it's kind of interesting. You hear what other people are saying after the game, and execution is kind of the buzzword, and that always comes out. But predictability is kind of the word that I caught from a lot of players, and that kind of brought my attention to really think a little deeper. And I got through about a quarter and a half of the game this morning watching on the coaches tape. And I noticed something the Giants were doing. I heard predictability. The Giants were playing what I call the creep defense, where the defensive line, the linebackers, they creep around the line of scrimmage, and they don't really get set until it looks like the play's about ready to start. And then they go to an adjustment. So there was some predictability in what we were doing offensively. There's no doubt in my mind. I'm going to get to that tape and dissect it a little bit deeper, but there's some predictability with the execution, what we're going to do, because the defense is now going to that creep defense where all linebackers stand up near the line of scrimmage. The defensive linemen don't get in three-point stance. And the minute they think the ball's going to be snapped, then they adjust to what they read as a predictable play.
So let's talk about the run game first, and just to jump off the predictability thing, because Saquon said after the game last night, he said, look, we were predictable last year, and we ran all over everybody anyway. So, watching that last night, Saquon has 2 good runs, and then it seemed to me for the rest of the night, every time he touched the ball, they were on him behind the line of scrimmage. Is that an offensive line play issue, or is that a predictability issue?
I think it's a combination of both. And as we know in sports, particularly football, with 11 guys on each side of the football, there's never one thing. But and I agree. The offensive line just isn't playing well right now. And you could say, yeah, we got the talent, not making it happen. Saquon Barkley not running real well, missing some holes. After 2 plays, it looked like 2 runs by Saquon. Looked like he was going to have a dominant game. It just didn't happen. And you have to just. I always use the word I talk to you guys every single week is balance. You got to have balance on offense. You got to be able to run the football when you want to run it and impose your will, and you got to be able to throw the football when you want to, not when you fall behind the chains. I think it seemed like we were one. I know we were 1 for 9 on third down, which is disgusting. With a team with this kind of talent, we 1 for 9 on third down. That's the money down. For all the TV shows I've done throughout my career, I've always talked about third down, the most important down in football. That's the money down. That's where the players earn their money. You can't go 1 for 9 against the Giants defense that is really struggling to stay healthy and have quality people back there. But clearly we're predictable and we're not executing properly. And I still think there's enough talent there. And I like you said, Saquon said we're predictable. I think there's some good things about predictability. That's when you get to impose your will. We're going to run the football. I don't care who is on defense. That's when you start imposing your will. That's when your players down because we have the talent to impose your will, knock people backwards. Tell them the play we're going to run. If you're really good enough like we were a year ago, I'll tell you the play we're going to run, and we're still going to kick your butt.
Yeah. Jaws, how well is Jalen seeing the field out there? You go 1 for 9 on third down. Now, they weren't all third and passing situations. I would imagine some of those may have been runs, but you're missing that much on third down. I would imagine there are plays that are there to be made, similar to the Devontae Smith play where he overshot him. I'm just wondering how much can his play clean up a lot of this stuff?
Well, the quarterback's always going to be, getting too much credit when things are going well and too much discredit when things aren't going well.
Yeah.
And I still think Jalen's playing very good football. He's missed some guys. In fact, I had next gen stats after last week run me a stat, and Jalen had thrown the 3rd most uncatchable balls in the NFL. The 3rd most uncatchable balls. Yet his percentage of completion is close to 70%, but he's had a lot of guys open that he's missed. So that's not my stat. That's next gen. That's the company that has those guys with the chips in their pads and all the other stuff to give you the high tech analysis. And it was kind of an alarming stat to me. That means he's not been throwing the football accurately. And I can't blame it on Jalen. The interception, yeah, certainly was his fault. The throw's got to be low to the outside, not high and inside, and you get picked up. But for the most part, I've almost felt this since last year. After the last year, I'll go back to last year when he was on the streak of interceptions. He had gone 8 games throwing at least 1 interception. And after the bye week, he stopped throwing picks. So I think he became very concerned about throwing interceptions, which you should be. But he just became a guy that almost became too careful with the football, not willing to take chances, and rather than take the chance, throw the ball away, take a sack, or just not deliver the football on time. So, I think these are all correctable issues. He hasn't played poorly. I think he's playing very well, as I said earlier. But it's a team right now that's kind of looking for who they are. What is the identity of this football team? It's not defense. It's not offense. And certainly not special teams. We can't even feel the kickoff. But certainly I think it's a team that we thought we knew this football team. And after I started looking at tape this morning, I said, I don't know who this team is. I don't know who this team is right now. I hope we figure it out real quick.
I tell you, George, you mentioned the phase of the game that I think is certainly being overlooked today when it talks about last night's game, and that's the defense. That may have been the worst defensive performance I've seen in a while under Vic Fangio. Really, maybe be the worst one under Vic Fangio as the defensive coordinator. I missed tackles last night. The Giants converting on third down 11 out of 16 times, 3 for 3 in the red zone. I mean, a rookie quarterback with no real weapons out there. His best weapons weren't even playing, and they're able to put up 34 points last night, Joe. It's just a disappointing effort from the defense last night. Really, on all 3 levels of the defense, it was disappointing.
Well, missed tackles, number one. I mean, you guys were whiffing all over the place. It's just amazing. But, I'm chuckling and disdain because I'm thinking about Jackson Dart,
right?
Cam Scattaboo.
Yeah.
Who the hell are these guys?
Yeah.
What? They kicked our butt. I mean, they physically. I've never seen an Eagles team get manhandled like this. This is a world championship football team. Didn't look like that. We physically got beat up.
Yeah.
On defense.
Yep.
That's where we hang. That's where we always hang our hat in Philadelphia on that defense. There's got to be some record. I know Vic Fangio is probably the most disappointing guy on the planet this morning. That his defense put out a clunker like that against. And how about you got your 3rd and 4th string wide receivers out there?
Right.
You got guys learning how to play offense on the offensive line, and to get it handled like that, it's totally disappointing, and to me, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Wow. I think what I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
I those defense, man.
I'm with you, Charles. I'm with you.
He made his career on playing defense. So you see it, I see it, and the fans see it. It was not good. It was ugly.
I think the concern is we all agree the talent's there, right? And I think you said this earlier. You just look at the team and you say, well, what are they doing well? It's pretty hard to point to anything. They're not throwing the ball well consistently. They're not running the ball well consistently. They're not stopping the run. They certainly didn't stop the Broncos from passing the ball. They didn't stop the Bucs from passing the ball in the second half. The guy they traded for to receive kicks can't hold on to them. I think my fear is this just feels like a classic Super Bowl hangover year. That's what it feels like to me, and I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I after the last 2 weeks, I feel the way. It actually kind of, we saw this happening, guys. And when you're winning, you sometimes ignore it. You ignore the truth. But we weren't playing good football and we were winning. Yeah, we're playing good enough to win. Yep. And but we weren't playing the football we've become accustomed to watching going back to our Super Bowl season a year ago. And I got great confidence in Nick Sirianni and his coaching staff. I really do. I mean, what they did last year was remarkable. I know how much time they put into it. I know how much the players have bought into what they're teaching. The cohesiveness of the organization as a whole. You always know Jeffrey and Howie are always committed to doing whatever it takes to win. So the organization is committed to winning. They're just. I said it on the postgame show last night. We watch them last couple of weeks. There's just something missing. And I've tried to take my 17 years of experience as an NFL quarterback to try to figure it out. I can't. There's just something missing, and I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it'll play out, and we'll say, oh, that's what was going wrong. But there's just something missing in this football team right now.
All right. Thank you, Jaws. I hope. Now, the next time we talk to you will be a couple of days before the Vikings game. We have 2 more games before the bye.
That's supposed to an easy win, right, Spike?
But
Easy win. We got who's going to cover Justin Jefferson the way the secondary played last night?
Yeah, I can't think. Well, you get beat down like that by the Giants, who just lost by 12 points to the Saints. There are no easy wins anymore. I don't think they can look at anything like that on the schedule. So
I'm with you.
We will talk to you a week from today. Thank you as always, Jaws.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Yep.
Jaws is fired up.
Yeah.
Yeah.